Hey, you. Come watch a scary story with me. The real scary teacher. Ooh.
When summer break ends, everyone dreads going back to school. The start of this school year was an absolute nightmare, and all because of one person, my teacher. For years, my friends and I had heard about Miss Jane. The older kids told stories, shaking and crying with thousand-yard stares. Of course, it didn't used to be our problem until now. I got put in Miss Jane's custody first thing in the morning on the first day of school, where I very quickly realized that if anything, what I heard was gravely understated.
This grade goes here, that one over here.
Excuse me, Miss Jane? Can I go to the bathroom?
Don't you mean may I go to the bathroom?
Oh, right, yeah.
Bro, what?
May I go to the bathroom, Miss Jane?
You may not. Who do you think you are?
Nobody.
Do not raise your voice at me.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you trying to humiliate me?
No,
I know a liar when I see one.
but I wasn't lying.
He's
Well
shivering in
then,
his
go
boots,
ahead,
bro.
do it, right here.
What?
Prove it. If you weren't lying to me, piss your pants or shit in your little diaper. Come on, do it. That's what I thought.
That's crazy,
Pathetic.
That was only day one. She went scorched earth, no mercy, no patience. I had been told that she had a short fuse, but I never expected her to react like that. As the days went
Yeah, no,
on,
she
I
should
remained on
react
my
like
best
that.
behavior. And even though everyone saw what happened to me, a lot of kids still couldn't believe it could happen to them. Until it did. One by one, we were all dehumanized. We began to understand why her class had such a high fail rate. Maybe failing was better than enduring this daily psychological torture. It only took a couple of weeks before kids started dropping like flies. Eventually, I came upon that decision too. But I don't think I could have made the right choice no matter what I did. Since
gonna
the
leave the
incident
boy
on
in
the
the back?
first day, I started using the bathroom right before school started. I guess I knew it was only a matter of time before one of my bathroom trips ran long. And before I knew it, I was officially late. Immediately, the thought occurred to me that I should just skip her class. But if I missed one day,
Shit,
she
I
would
would.
destroy me the next time I showed up. So if I wanted to survive, I would have to start skipping her class every single day. I knew some were already doing that, but I'm just not that kind of student. I decided I would just go in and be late. It would only be by a couple of minutes anyway, so how mad could she realistically be? That was a stupid question.
At Fiverr, we know that vibe coding can be a lot of fun until it's not.
When I walked through that door, everything stopped. It felt like just when I spoke out on the first day, Miss Jane wasn't even looking at me yet, but I had no doubt in my mind she was furious. In that moment, I couldn't just keep standing in the doorway. I walked in and sat down at my desk. Miss Jane still wasn't looking at me, but she was twitching. Her back was to the class. Her arm still held up to the board, halfway through writing something. For a few seconds, nothing
Bro, she
happened.
would've hit
Nobody
the-
dared to make a
the
sound.
kid with the,
Finally, miraculously, Miss
measuring
Jane resumed
stick,
her
bro.
lesson. Of course, I should have known I wasn't getting out of this unscathed.
As I was saying, on July 4th, 1776, the founding fathers signed the... On July 4th, 1776, the founding fathers signed the Declaration of... God damn it! Oh, crap! Damn you, you little shit stain! You made me lose my concentration! I'm sorry!
Ow.
Really sorry! Hey! Insolent, disobedient child! You pay! Stop it, please! I'm sorry, just stop! Oh, hell! Stop!
Like that, bro.
Freezy, you're gonna
Stop
kill
taking
me!
it.
I know! Get away from me! Get away!
I busted out of that psycho lady's classroom and ran for my life.
she's
I couldn't believe it, but she was actually chasing me down the hall. I couldn't slow down for even a second, or she was gonna gut me. In the nick of time, I ran into the principal's office and slammed the door right in Miss Jane's horrifying face. I locked it before she could get through, then begged the principal to call the police. At long last, That wretched ghoul got what she deserved.
she needs to
She's
be
been
in prison.
fired and thrown in jail where she damn well belongs. After what's happened, I know I have saved countless others from suffering, but even still, in just a month, she's done more damage to me than I think I'll ever truly recover from.
That's sad.
A Tampa Bay area teacher has been charged after allegedly attacking a student, according to Polk County Public Schools. Police Chief Stephen Walker
Oh.
confirmed that Jane
I didn't know she
McGinn
was
is
gonna be
facing
black. I
charges
thought
to
she
the
was gonna be
student
white.
without causing bodily harm. PCPS said it is working with law enforcement, and based
Oh,
on the
she's
initial
ugly.
investigation, it is in the process of terminating McGinn from the school. An investigation remains ongoing.
Nah, she's one ugly teacher, bro. No cap. Mr. Ted. Mr. Ted.
Throughout my years wasted in public school, I've been lucky enough to say that all my teachers have been easy to get along with. One, however, always stuck out to me as being a little too
Weird.
nice. His name was Mr. Ted. He insisted everyone call him Mr. Teddy, like a teddy bear. Keep in mind we were in high school.
That's
I
kinda-
refused to
that's
call
kinda
him that,
weird.
which is why I think he started paying extra attention to me. Despite doing just fine in his class, he was constantly offering to tutor me after school. And not as like a study group kind of thing, but private one-on-one sessions. I never
little
accepted his
sus.
offer, of course, but I still couldn't get away from him. No matter what I did, I repeatedly ran into him in the weirdest of places. Weirdest place of all was the boys' bathroom. He treated it like a social hour. He was the kind of guy that would always use the urinal right next to you, even if all the rest of them were wide open.
I
I'd
hate
look
that-
over
I
while at
hate
the
people like
urinal and
that,
see
bro.
his eyes staring directly into mine.
Like, you got
or
all that
lower,
space you wanna
only
piss
to
next
hear
to
the
me,
most
bro?
invasive sentence ever to enter my ears. I like the birthmark you got down there.
What? How did you know about that? Were you looking at it?
No, just a lucky guess. But
Ew.
I'm right, aren't I?
Pedophile?
That's private information, Mr. Ted. Of course. You don't need to tell me. I'll make you call me Teddy one of these days.
What was that?
I said I'll see you in class, Ray. Right. Uncomfortable
Ugh.
interactions with Mr. Ted
This
were
man is
unfortunately the
weird.
norm for me, but I never had the guts to report him. With no other option, I dealt with it for months. I started drinking less water so I wouldn't have to go to the bathroom as much. I
would
got up
too.
and left right before the bell rang so I could use the crowd to distract him. Sometimes people would notice me acting weird around Mr. Ted and ask what was up. I tried to tell them what was really happening the first few times,
That'd be
but they
embarrassing
turned
trying
it
to
into a
say-
joke. From then on, I just made
I'll
something
be
else up to
embarrassed
keep
too.
rumors
That'd be
from
kinda
spreading.
weird to
The last thing I
try to
wanted was
tell
for people
somebody
to
that
twist the
you talk
truth
about
and
your
accuse me of wanting this all to happen.
That's kinda-
Of
that's kind of a
course, the
weird-
stress of
weird
everything
thing.
eventually got to me. I screwed up, mouthed off to the wrong teacher, and got detention. I was terrified that Mr. Ted would somehow be the detention teacher, but thankfully he wasn't. It was one of the older, no-nonsense guys who never lets anyone out of his sight. Obviously, for that whole hour, I wasn't allowed to use the bathroom, so I needed to go right after. The detention thing threw off my whole schedule. I was supposed to catch the bus, but now I had to wait around for my mom to pick me up. Creeping my way over to the boys' bathroom, I was very aware of the potential presence of Mr. Ted. I heard he always stayed after, but the hallway was empty. I peeked inside his classroom and the lights were off too. Then finally, I went into the bathroom, thinking it was empty. At the urinal,
Nah, bro,
I
it's gonna be in there
unzipped,
with you, bro.
relaxed, and started to piss. Then I heard one of the stalls open. My stream was cut off instantly. I could tell just by the footsteps. It was Mr. Ted. He had been waiting, lurking. It was like he knew I'd be there after school. I was frozen. This was my worst nightmare. The chances of anyone else walking in and making this less unbearable
so
were close to zero.
that's disgusting.
Mr. Ted was now bolder than ever. He walked over from the stall and stood at the urinal next to me, unzipped his pants and pulled it out. Then, reached over and put the same hand on my shoulder. Neither of us were pissing. There was
Ew.
no reason for us to be there. No good reason, anyway. Mr. Ted looked over the divider, clear as day.
That's a sick man right there.
Please leave me alone. Maybe I'll stop if you call me Teddy.
Please.
Come on. I know you want to.
Don't touch me!
I finally couldn't take the madness anymore. I ran outside and called the police in broad daylight. Anything to make sure that creep couldn't
Yeah,
get
I
near me
would.
again. From my testimony and a quick check of the cameras to prove we were in the bathroom together, the police had enough evidence to arrest Mr. Ted. But I was genuinely worried there wouldn't be enough to make the charges stick. I was sure the other students would rally behind him and deny everything. But an even worse detail came to light that put the nail in his coffin. That bathroom wasn't just his favorite spot to creep on me. He put a hidden camera in there too. He'd
I
been
was just
recording
thinking
other
about
students exposing themselves, and there was no shortage of victims. Now it makes sense how he knew certain details of my anatomy before I caught him looking in person. I'm glad he's going to prison,
Ew.
where he'll get the treatment he
He needs
deserves.
a death
But I just
penalty,
wish all
bro.
this didn't have to happen to me.
Looking up.
A
Minors.
teacher at an Irvine high school has been arrested for allegedly hiding recording devices in a restroom on campus. Police responded to Beckman High School on Monday after a maintenance worker found the devices hidden in the all-gender restroom near the school swimming pool. Authorities say the devices had recorded several victims while in the restroom.
Oh, so male
Investigators
and
determined
female.
that the devices were
Yeah, I
placed
knew-
there by a
ew.
teacher,
He looks like the type
identified
to
as
do that.
37-year-old Sue Kong Sit. The Santa Ana man was arrested at the school and booked at Orange County Jail. Police
Man,
are
it's a
now
death
trying to
penalty,
locate
bro.
more victims based on the
He's-
evidence found on the devices.
That's nasty. He needs a death penalty, bro. A Snapchat teacher incident?
This year, one of my teachers was starting his first year of teaching. His name was Mr. Malley. At the end of the second week, he handed out a test on everything we had covered so far. I thought I did fine on it. However, when he handed the test back on Monday, I was floored. I got an F. Not nearly a passing grade either. A 30%. It was the
Damn.
lowest score I had ever gotten on anything. And when I looked up and saw Mr. Malley still staring down at me like he was about to laugh in my face, I was about to burst into tears.
Surprised? I guess you're not as smart as you thought, so it's a good thing you're pretty.
But I knew the answers. I did good on this. Mr. Malley, please. This has to be a mistake. This can't be my test.
Oh,
Ew,
so
this
you're
dude
saying I can't even grade a
women so he
paper
can get
correctly
what
just
is
because
paid
I'm
with them?
new?
Ew.
No,
I can already see this from a
This is
mile away.
wrong.
And now you're arguing with me. All right, that's detention. See me after school.
First, I bombed a test. Now I had detention? This never happened to me. After school, I headed back to Mr. Malley's class to face my punishment. I was the only one there. I sat in the farthest seat in the back, but he snapped his fingers and forced me to sit right in front of his desk. I had no choice but to move. Then, Mr. Malley started talking to me. I wasn't responding. I wasn't even looking at him, just staring down at my own fidgeting hands. I could hear what he was saying, though I refused to listen. Not until a certain sentence pierced through my imaginary earplugs and forced me to pay attention.
Miss Girl, if you don't do what I say, I'll make sure you end up right back here tomorrow.
Huh? What?
And every day after that until you behave. Do you understand?
Yes,
Are you listening now?
I am. I'm listening.
Good. So, do your parents let you have a smartphone?
What? Yeah, of course.
Then I'm sure you have Snapchat.
No. My parents don't allow me to have Snapchat or any social media.
Yeah, right. A girl your age, popular, pretty. I know you have a Snapchat. Just be honest with me, or I'll have to punish you accordingly.
But oh, okay. Yeah. I have Snapchat. Why?
Give it to me.
Oh, I don't think we're allowed to do that.
Since when did you care about what's allowed? Give me your Snapchat, or I'll tell your
take that
parents
F.
you
I
have
wouldn't- I
one.
wouldn't.
I was just trying to avoid lying to stay out of even more trouble and gave up information I never should have told him. Now, if I didn't want my parents to take away my phone, I had to add my teacher on Snapchat. I knew it was wrong. He knew it too. But judging by the smile on his face, he didn't care. He let me leave right afterwards too, which made it clear to me that's what he wanted from the start. I didn't look at my phone for hours, not until I was alone in my bedroom, when I knew my parents wouldn't see what was going on. I still wanted to figure a way out of this without getting into trouble with them. Just as I expected, Mr. Malley had blown up my phone. He sent me selfies from school, in his car, then at his home, bugging me to respond. I finally did. Just texted him, "Hey." Within seconds, he sent more messages back, asking me to reply with selfies, saying it was unfair that he sent pictures of himself but I wouldn't send him any of me. I tried to play dumb and say I never really sent selfies, so I didn't know how to do a good one. He saw right through it, yet he was willing to grind me down until I was forced to go through with it. He said we should play a simple game, like repeat after me, but with Snapchats. First, he'd send a picture of his hand, then I'd send a picture of my hand, then he sent a picture of his face, so I sent a picture of my face. Finally, he said I was getting how the game worked, so he was going to send another picture. Then I would send back the same kind of picture of myself. When I opened the next thing he sent, my eyes were permanently scarred. I'll never get the image out of my head, but I don't even want to say it. I couldn't play along with this so-called game anymore. I blocked him and started planning my next move. I didn't want to tell my parents right then. I was terrified they would get the wrong idea. Instead, I was going to report him to the principal first thing in the morning. That was the safest way in my mind. However, I wouldn't even get the chance. After staying up all night, finally going to school the next morning, the first thing I saw when I walked into class was Mr. Malley getting put in handcuffs. In reality, Mr. Malley was never actually a teacher in the first place, just a liar who posed as one to get close to a bunch of students. Some other girl had already reported him for the same thing I experienced. I can't imagine what he might have put the other students through, but I know I came very close to experiencing that misery firsthand. A 41-year-old resident of the Salt is accused of posing as a teacher and threatening a student into sending images of themselves. The suspect was revealed to be Franco Peligi. Police received a complaint on March 21st. An investigation revealed the accused, who resides in Sault Marie, pretended to be a teacher in their 20s living in the Wasaga Beach area. The accused threatened the victim into sending images of themselves online. Police arrested the suspect on September 4th at a residence on McGregor Avenue. The suspect was charged accordingly and was held in custody pending a bail hearing.
Hey, that's it for the video, guys, on this horror story. Hope you like, comment, subscribe, and hope you go to the next one. Peace out, dog. Stay safe.